sights of the Atlanta skyline as we are here in the heart of Georgia. Welcome, everyone, to a brand new season of NBA basketball. I'm sure you're as excited as all of us are here at 2K Sports as we get ready to start the season in style. Hi, this is Kevin Harlan, joined by my partners Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg. It's all about the Eastern Conference. That's where the action is today as the Atlanta Hawks get ready to battle. And it's their first look at this year's Pistons here for the first game of the NBA's 82-game regular season. In a season ago, Clark, they won the matchup, winning 3 and losing just 1.
And looking back to last season, they won this season series as you'd expect.
Yeah, there's a reason they were a playoff team. I mean, they beat the teams they were supposed to. We'll see if they can do it again tonight.
And now the opening lineup for Detroit. Jennings and Caldwell-Pope in the backcourt. Andre Drummond is out there with Ilyasova. And it's Johnson in at the 3 slot. Now here's Teague. Can't hit. Last year, a good one for Jeff Teague, Clark. He was a first-time All-Star in this league.
He's a pick-and-roll technician. So good in reading the defense as he operates from that spot on the floor. He was really the catalyst for what was a really efficient offense for the Hawks.
On defense, Detroit. The feed now to Millsap. Jacks up a 3. That's good, and so Teague with the assist. Millsap's got his first 3 points of the game. And the Pistons with possession. On the wing, Johnson dives for it. And that's out of bounds. Detroit will retain possession. Pistons ball. First quarter, just over a minute played. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
And guys, he's not the tallest or most imposing wing player, but Stanley Johnson has incredible strength and really unmatched confidence. One reason why so many were high on him in the draft.
And for Johnson out of Arizona, Greg, his strength, as you were talking about, is his biggest asset. Helps that he has this incredible arm span. And Clark, you know what? He told me he likes to play the 2K game.
Yeah, he does enjoy that. He likes to play the real game, too,
yeah,
because he's hyper-competitive, and I think he's got a chance to be a superb defender at the NBA level. You know, there was plenty to be happy about last year in Atlanta with the way the Hawks played. One sour note, though, was that the team was viewed as a potential buy for Seattle groups.
Now, here's Teague. Horford with the screen on Jennings. Just 5 to shoot. And Teague, here we go. That doesn't go in either for Teague. Let's send it over to Doris Burke, who caught up with head coach Mike Budenholzer. Doris?
A lot of his focus in preparing his team for this game centered around how they plan to deal with point guard Brandon Jennings. He said Jennings is a blur out there. He's so fast, and he plays with a relentless energy. It's a challenge for any team to really keep up with him. Kevin, we'll see if they can do it.
Thanks again, Doris. Well, last season, the Hawks not only had a great year on the floor as they were the top seed in the Eastern Conference, but they had a pretty good day at the bank, too. They sold for a nice price. Looks like the team is going to stay in Atlanta where it belongs.
Yeah, and that's great news for Atlanta, and they were rewarded with a terrific season. A group, including Grant Hill, purchased the Hawks, and obviously will keep that group in Atlanta for many years to come. Yeah, and Al Horford really has become one of those elite two-way big men. And that's very rare. You look at most bigs in the NBA, they excel at either one end or the other, but this is one of those guys that does it all.
He makes 1 of 2 that time. And Horford at 6'10", a natural power forward who's been pressed into duty at the center spot, but he holds his own on the low block.
He also does a really good job, Kevin, moving his feet and covering in space, covering the pick and roll. He's outstanding in that regard, which is important in today's game. He's got mobility and a high IQ.
Now here's Teague after the miss from Stanley Johnson. And now the Pistons fast break. Here's Caldwell-Pope, a great 1-2 punch, beautiful pass and nasty jam.
And you can see the importance of that steal. I mean, really a 4-point turnaround with the conversion at the other end right there.
Yeah, the importance of the defense there. Instead of giving up the bucket and having that 5-point deficit, all of a sudden, we got a tie ball game.
Splitter. And that comes off the assist by Jeff Teague. Splitter's got his first bucket in this one. The Pistons trailing. Jennings kicks to Johnson. It's back to Jennings. The Pistons working the ball around now. Ilyasova can't hit.
That's the kind of D you need when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were all over it.
Teague drives in. That's in for the first basket of the game after 3 attempts.
Well, Merry Christmas. I mean, that was a freebie.
Pistons trail by 4. Here's Drummond. Dishes to Caldwell Pope. Jennings wide open. And Splitter pulls it down. Hawks have gone 3 of 5 shooting the ball so far. And there's Millsap. That's good on the assist by Teague. Teague's got 3 assists now in this one.
This is as good as it gets for a first quarter in terms of shooting the basketball.
Greg, you're exactly right. I mean, everything seems to be dropping. Impressive scoring here.
That is good. The Hawks leading by 4. Kicks to Horford. Feeds to Korver. Pass to Teague. He dishes it to Splitter. 5 on the clock. And again, it's Atlanta.
Nice pass that time. What excellent vision by Jeff Teague out there.
Pistons trail by 6. Jennings kicks to Drummond. Out to the right wing. Here's Caldwell Pope, guarded by Korver. From deep, Johnson. That falls. Great assist by Brandon Jennings. Johnson's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. Outside Korver. Now the dish to Splitter. Right side Millsap. Johnson over to help. It's Millsap with the drive. Ilyasova with the ball. Looking for his first basket still in this one.
Rare you'll see him miss such an open look.
Teague the pass to Korver. He kicks it to Horford. Picked by Horford. Millsap has the open look. Atlanta gets it back.
Hey, they got the shot they wanted off of that pick, but it just doesn't fall.
Yeah, it didn't go down, but you'll take that shot every single time, Greg. That's good offense. Another nice bucket down low. They've really been able to work the ball into the post effectively so far.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see them operating a lot of their offense from the interior today.
Now here's Korver. Right side Teague. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Floats one up. The shot is off. Great D that time from Jennings.
Well, you have to like their work on the boards, Kevin, particularly here to start the game.
Yeah, I like the way they're setting the tone. Really playing with a lot of energy here at the start. That was a terrific shot by Jennings. Not only is he quick, but he's smooth, too.
Well, last season, the Pistons didn't reach the playoffs for the 6th consecutive season. They're making progress, but as we can all see, still have a lot of work to do.
Yeah, you know, they were spoiled for a while. And how about going to the playoffs for 1996 to 2009? So it's been a rough stretch here of late. But you get the feeling that the building blocks are in place for another push.
Atlanta making a switch here. Cephalosha's checked in. And a switcher also for Detroit. Morris is checked in. The Hawks again can't hit.
That's a look you cannot pass up. It's also one you shouldn't miss.
Here's Johnson. Can't hit. And Atlanta will come the other way.
And I bet most people forget that the Pistons did make the playoffs for 8 straight years before this current drought. It's been a long rebuild process for them recently, but I think they're making progress and moving in the right direction.
Here's Caldwell Pope after the made shot from Jeff Teague. And it's Johnson that time on the assist by Jennings. 8 points now in the game for Stanley Johnson. The Hawks trailing. Outside Teague. He feeds it to Millsap. Rebound, Detroit.
And for the Pistons, they seem to have a direction and plan now that just wasn't the case before. It won't be easy to get back into the postseason, but I really feel like they are on the right path.
Here's Korver. Millsap dishes to Teague. And it's good. Teague's got it all tied up now for the Hawks.
Give credit where credit is due right there. A terrific assist.
Teague against Jennings. To the paint. Here's Morris. Good work defensively by Millsap. Hawks have gone 7 of 13, just over 50% from the floor. Some good looks. Teague kicks to Korver. Now the pass to Horford. Puts it up from 12. The rebound by Johnson.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
Jennings passes to Morris. Here's Caldwell Pope, covered by Cephalosha. That shot by Caldwell Pope, no good.
He tried to throw the spin move into his act that time. It worked about as well as you'd expect, Kev. That's not his game.
Millsap misses.
Now, nice work there to contest the finish inside.
You know, they got the shot they wanted, but his defense, deterred them from those playing.
Detroit, no good that time either.
Boy, there was no hand in his face right there. I thought for sure he was going to knock that down.
Pass to Korver. The feed to Horford. Back to Korver. All alone. Off the iron that time.
You know what? You just cannot get much better of a look than that one.
Exactly. No way you expect him to miss that shot.
Atlanta's gone 1 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the game. A nice shot by Teague. Teague's got 8.
And off to a strong start offensively. He's got a nice touch. And Paul Millsap, guys, the only player to lead the NCAA in rebounding 3 straight seasons back in college. A former second-round pick, was kind of slept on, but now clearly making his mark in the NBA.
Now a timeout called by Detroit. As the teams head into this timeout, a chance for the coaches now to map out some plays for the next few minutes and a chance for the players to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's important if they want to make sure they don't wear down later in the game.
Absolutely. Over the course of a game, you have to stay hydrated.
For the Hawks, Hardaway comes in for Kyle Korver. And Dennis Schroeder subbed in for Jeff Teague. And then for Detroit, Aaron Baines, he's checked in for Andre Drummond. Jody Meeks comes in for Johnson. And it's Jackson in for Brandon Jennings. Here's Baines. There's the pick. Passes it to Meeks. Looking to end the drought. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Aaron Baines. That's his first foul.
That's his first personal foul.
The Hawks leading. And here is Hardaway. Dishes it to Schroeder. Launches it. Rebounded by Jackson. Detroit's gone 2 of 5 from three-point land here in the first quarter. Meeks outside. And it's out of bounds for the Pistons as Detroit retains possession. Jackson kicks to Caldwell Pope. Nice ball movement by Detroit. The 3. Horford with the rebound. Horford's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Schroeder passes to Hardaway. There's 1:34 left in the first quarter of the game. Here's Horford. Up and in on the layup. Now it's a 4-point Hawks lead.
And when the size advantage is as big as it was there, that's exactly what he's supposed to do in that situation.
Morris a screen. Jackson, well-timed pass, and he goes straight to the bucket for the layup. Jackson's got his first 2 points of the night.
You know, that's been a big part of their offense in the early stages. I mean, their success working the ball inside and getting points from close range, right at the rim.
And Clark, they might as well keep doing it. I mean, attack the basket until the defense makes an adjustment.
That's the third bucket in a row from the paint. This defense needs to clog those lanes in the middle much more effectively.
You just cannot allow the offense to have that quality of a look each and every possession.
Now, here's Meeks. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. Schroeder kicks to Cephalosha. Feeds to Schroeder. Millsap a screen. Pass to Hardaway. Right side Millsap. Good, and the assist goes to Hardaway. And it's 7 points for Paul Millsap.
Took advantage of some shoddy defense there. They've got to at least get a finger on him.
Here's Caldwell Pope. That one off the back iron and out.
His touch has disappeared on him this quarter. He just hasn't been able to get it going.
And the whistle blows as the basket counts and a three-point play chance right here. One free throw coming up. The Hawks shooting their third free throw attempt of the game. Free throw good, Cephalosha. Pistons trail by 7. Jackson dishes to Caldwell Pope. Baines inside, guarded by Horford. Caldwell Pope kicks to Jackson. Meeks outside. That one goes. Count it. Meeks got his second bucket tonight. Schroeder. Shot is no good. And we reach the end of the first quarter. The Hawks on top. They're up by 4. And we'll get things started in the second quarter when we return. The second quarter beginning in just a moment. And for the Hawks, guys, what stands out to you stats-wise?
They seem to be a step slower, and that's one reason why they've been able to own the rebounding edge.
Well, the anticipation's been better. As the ball hits the rim, it's gone right to them. Solid job of them chasing it down and anticipating.
And Atlanta has possession. 4-point game. And now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset our lineups. And Detroit, looking at who they've got. Jackson is out there with Jody Meeks. Then it's Ilyasova. Then it's Marcus Morris. And it's Baines in at the center, locking down the middle. And it's Schroeder missing. Bazemore for 3. Rebounded by the Pistons. Looking ahead, they've got the Jazz coming into town for the next game. And that's the first game in a string of 3 straight at home. Detroit had a hard time making shots consistently last season. Clark, not a good shooting team from the floor. And, of course, that's in this league, it's going to kill you.
Yeah, it really will. I mean, at one point last year, Kevin, 3 of their starters were in the bottom 10 in terms of players' field goal percentage. I mean, hard to win any game that way.
And the wide-open shot from Morris. Bazemore grabs the miss.
Most of the time, that shot will go down. Boy, the defenders have to make sure they tag him.
Schroeder passes to Horford. And he uses the glass on the layup. Horford's got the first points up on the board here in the second quarter for the Hawks.
And the Pistons would finish in the bottom 3 in terms of team shooting last year. But for the most part, their shooting did improve over the course of the season.
Now here's Jackson. Back to Morris. 6 to shoot. The baseline J. It will go down, and the Hawks' lead is cut down to just 4 points in the bucket from Jackson.
That's a shot he shouldn't be afraid to take more often.
And, you know, for the Pistons, they really had nowhere to go but up. I mean, shooting under 43% as a team is more than worrisome. I mean, it's something they'll have to drastically improve going forward.
Here's Schroeder. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. Horford's shot is good.
Boy, this has been a terrific stretch of shooting for Al Horford.
Pistons trail by 6. Right wing. Baines dishes to Morris. Outside Jackson. And the three off target. For Atlanta, they've gone 2 of 5 from the field here in the second quarter, shooting 40%. Here's Schroeder. It's deflected. And a little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second quarter. And Meeks kicks to Jackson. He dishes it to Meeks. Jackson down low. Splitters there. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
And guys, Reggie Jackson was at the end of a yo-yo last season. He starts at Oklahoma for an injured Westbrook. Westbrook comes back, sends Jackson to the bench. Then Oklahoma sends Jackson to Detroit, where he fills in for another injured starter in Brandon Jennings for the rest of the year.
And that one falls for Jackson. Now getting back to Jackson, he showed several times last season that he has that starter ability. The Thunder knew they wouldn't have the money to re-sign him, Clark, in free agency, so they traded him to avoid losing him for nothing.
Yeah, and that's a good move. And with the Pistons, Jackson finished the season strong, while the Thunder, without Jackson or Durant's contributions, missed the playoffs for the first time in years.
And for Reggie Jackson, the league is going the right way in terms of his skill set. Everyone loves the guard who can shoot well enough to bust the zone, as well as make plays for others and at the rim. And Jackson is that guy.
Now here's Jennings. Jeff Teague unable to get his shot to go. Jackson kicks to Jennings. It's good. The assist this time from Jackson. Jennings has got 5.
You know what, guys? He can really light it up from the perimeter at times.
And back to Jackson. He really took on the playmaker role after being traded to the Pistons. As a Detroit player, he averaged over 9 assists a game, Clark, which would have put him 4th overall in the league had it been for a full campaign.
Loved his aggressiveness, which led to opportunities for his teammates, but it also led to turnovers. That part of his game he's got to tighten up.
Here's Jennings. After the basket by Atlanta. Jackson misses.
Well, that's an excellent challenge right there. Good job contesting that shot by the defender.
Here's Bazemore, guarded by Jackson. They get the rebound. Splitter, that's good.
What a big-time mismatch it's been in the post. Where's the defensive adjustment? They're getting housed down there.
Something's got to change. A double team, maybe a substitution, but this is getting out of hand.
T kicks to Splitter. Rebound by the Pistons. Here's Jennings. He has 5. Drummond the screen. Johnson for 3. The Pistons rebound. Jackson passes to Ilyasova. Kicks it to Johnson. With a pause in the action, let's show you the teams that were best from the line last season. Number 5, the Hawks.
You know, it's interesting when you look at this team, Kevin. I mean, they found a way to get their whole team to knock down free throws at a consistent level. I mean, a team that can't make free throws, that's a huge liability and one you don't want to deal with. They'd like to repeat their success at the line this year.
That's good from Johnson.
Well, we know prior to last season, the Pistons handed the car keys over to Stan Van Gundy. He had some early hiccups, but overall, I think they're headed in the right direction. He's a proven winning coach in the NBA.
The Hawks leading by 3. Outside Teague. Horford sets a screen for Teague. And stolen by Jennings. And here's Jennings, the fast break opportunity. And Jackson throws it down hard.
Great anticipation and awareness to come up with the steal and trigger the fast break.
And now just a one-possession game thanks to that quick hitter. Outstanding play in the open court.
And so it's Atlanta with it after the basket by Detroit. And it's Korver in the corner. And that comes off the assist by Jeff Teague. Teague's got 6 assists here tonight. Pistons trail by 3. It's Jackson with the drive. Ilyasova dishes to Johnson. Nice ball movement by Detroit. Launches a 3. And Splitter pulls it down. Splitter's got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one.
Well, it looks like he's cooled down a bit after hitting those 2 in the first quarter.
Now here's Teague. 8 points for him. In the corner, Bazemore with it. It's hauled in by Ilyasova. Detroit's gone 1 of 4 from three-point range in the second. Not a whole lot dropping out there for them.
And that is a major league flush right there, my friends.
And in a tight contest like this, Greg, that might be just what they need to get the tide rolling in their direction.
You're exactly right. I mean, so often when a team gets that kind of explosive play out of its backcourt, that can really rally and galvanize the whole squad.
Now here's Teague. And Bazemore kicks to Teague. Just 5 to shoot. And the shot counts. He's fouled, and it's a chance for a three-point play.
Not fazed at all by having a bigger defender on him down low. And I really thought he would be.
You know, at first glance, you wouldn't think that he'd be comfortable in that particular situation. But, boy, I tell you what, he didn't look like he was out of his element at all right there.
Paul Millsap's checked in for Atlanta. Cephalosha comes in for Kent Bazemore. Free throw good. Teague. Well, you just watched Jeff Teague. He's a natural scorer. Clark, he's also made steady improvement as a playmaker.
Yeah, you look at his assist rate, Kevin, well in the top 10 in the league. He's cut down on his turnovers as well. You can tell he's starting to really figure it out in the game and slowing down for him.
So it's Detroit now, trailing by 4. Jennings against Teague. And there's the call. It's going to be an illegal screen.
That's his second personal foul. If he gets another, it probably puts him on the bench for the rest of the first half.
Atlanta leading by 4.
And Teague's also athletic. You know, sometimes you forget that. I mean, this guy's got the tools also to be a terrific defender. And I still think he's developing consistency at that end of the floor.
Here is Jennings after the made shot from Jeff Teague. Ilyasova. The lead pass was put in just the right spot.
Man, how about the dexterity for this big guy? I mean, he is really smooth around the basket.
And speaking of Jeff Teague's defense, I mean, his rebounding, I think, could also be a little higher. I mean, with his bounce, he can get in there and grab a few more.
Now here's Splitter. He has 6. Fires for 3. Ilyasova comes up with the rebound. It's Jennings with the drive. No good with the wing jumper.
And not a night he's going to want to remember, just not really able to score the basketball.
Inside and stolen by Drummond. And here's Jennings, the fast break opportunity. There's the dish to Drummond, and the call will be against Jeff Teague. That is his first foul of the game.
I mean, I like the call. I thought the defense was just there a little late.
Yeah, it looked like it. I mean, he kind of slid underneath as he got to the spot, too.
Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, he's checked in for Jackson. On defense, Atlanta, they lead by 4. And stolen by Splitter. Teague against Jennings. Teague, the pass to Millsap. Out left to the wing. 5 to shoot. Splitter dishes to Teague. From past the arc. That doesn't go in either for Teague. Pistons trail by 4. Out to the right wing. Johnson outside. Outside Jennings. Back to Johnson. That's tipped. Now here is Cephalosha. Millsap kicks to Teague. Splitter inside. Defended by Drummond. Splitter misses. Inside. Here's Johnson. Atlanta with the rebound. Millsap's got his 4th rebound in this one.
He's been wayward and just off on about everything he's put up in this period.
That would have been lucky had it fallen. Poor shot selection.
Yeah, look at the coach's face and the expression. It says all over it, "Are you kidding me?"
Johnson, the pass to Drummond. And they're moving it up, pushing it up to stop the drought. And Splitter with the layup. Splitter's got 8.
And when they've gone to him, he has come through big time. You got to keep getting him touches.
Knocked away. Out of bounds, Atlanta will take possession.
So a moment now to see the story on Jeff Teague. He had a strong showing last season. 8th in assists, 14th in steals, and he'd make you pay every time he went to the line. Top 20 in free throw percentage.
And last season, his floor awareness was impeccable. As you mentioned, top 10 in assists. Just does a great job of getting everybody involved.
Time called here. The Hawks decide to talk it over.
Boy, I tell you, last season was a big one for the Hawks and Coach Budenholzer. Their dominant season won him multiple Coach of the Month titles, and eventually he won the Coach of the Year award.
Tim Hardaway Jr.'s checked in for Atlanta. Dennis Schroeder comes in for Teague. And then for Detroit, Aaron Baines, he's checked in for Drummond. Marcus Morris comes in for Ilyasova. And it's Jody Meeks in for Johnson. Now here's Hardaway. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Schroeder up top. He's guarded by Jennings. Goes up from the top of the key. And the shot no good, a bit short. It was pretty obvious, I thought, great, that Budenholzer was the deserved Coach of the Year. I mean, Steve Kerr, there are a lot of good names you could put in there. But what he's done taking the Hawks to the top of the East, a few saw that coming.
I agree with you. I mean, he has transformed this Hawks team over the past couple of years, has a wonderful team game. And, you know, obviously a lot of influence coming from Pop when he was with San Antonio, but he is really, I think, redefining how the game of basketball is being played at the pro level. How can you forget about him? I mean, he's not going to miss that open of a look.
Schroeder kicks to Cephalosha. Nice ball movement here by Atlanta. Millsap a screen. There's the pass to Schroeder. Teardrop shot. That's good. And the Hawks lead by 7. A minute 20 left to play here in the second quarter. Morris outside. To the wing on the left. Morris a screen. Here's Jennings. Nice teamwork to set up the pick play and make the space for the Jays.
Well, they're not shooting as many from outside here in the second quarter.
Yeah, they were shooting well early on. I like their spacing. I think they should get back to that.
Now here's Hardaway. Here's Schroeder. And it's off from three-point range. Here's Caldwell Pope, covered by Cephalosha. Caldwell Pope kicks to Baines. There's the pick. And there's another one for the Pistons.
They have repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid dividends.
And with as many points as they've gotten in the paint, you know, they haven't had to do much work on the perimeter.
Now here's Hardaway. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. Marcus Morris picks one up there. For Atlanta, they have been successful on 3 of their 4 free throw attempts up to this one.
And at the line last season, about 78% as a team. Pretty solid numbers.
Yeah, they had the kind of success from the line that would make any coach breathe a sigh of relief, guys.
And the second free throw, good. Pistons trail by 4. Outside Jennings to the wing right side. Millsap with the steal. Pass to Cephalosha. Offensive rebound. And there's the feed to Schroeder. Yes, and it's Hardaway picking up the assist. Schroeder's got 5 points now in the quarter. So we've reached the end of the first half of play. Hawks lead by 7. 2K Sports back in a moment here at Phillips Arena in Atlanta.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here again with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. And an exciting time of the year as the first game of the regular season is halfway through. It was Jeff Teague setting the pace in the first quarter. He had 13 points and 7 assists. And Shaq, what are your thoughts on how Atlanta played?
The bulk of their offense, Ernie, Kenny, is come in the paint. See, it's just as good. It's hard-nosed basketball when you play in the post. Trust me, I know. You wouldn't know nothing about that, Kenny, little man.
Kenny, what'd you think about Detroit?
They ran into a buzzsaw, and it was on full blast. And once they fell behind, the crowd got into it, and it seemed that they lost a lot of confidence. They started pressing, forcing things, and it made it worse. So in the second half, relax, man. Just remember, there's 2 more quarters. It's a fresh start.
And that'll wrap up our halftime show. The third quarter set to go moments from now. We will be right back here after the game.
And the third quarter about ready to get underway. It's been one outstanding game from Jeff Teague.
You know, we talk so often about making your teammates better, and his ability to see the floor and then make those passes on time in that first half was the key.
Boy, I tell you what, they say he's not a playmaker, but he certainly has fooled me with the way he's performing right now.
The Hawks leading by 7.
You know, not many saw it coming last season with the Hawks. I mean, they just ran away with the Eastern Conference. It was the first time they took the East since 1994.
Teague and Korver are the guards. Paul Millsap out there with Horford, and it's Splitter in at the 5 down low. They're the group for Mike Budenholzer starting the second half. Now here's Ilyasova following the miss by Al Horford. Left side, Jennings. And stolen by Splitter. Here's Teague. Drops in the breakaway layup. Teague's got the first points to start out the third quarter for the Hawks.
Their interior defense has been dismal.
Yeah, they're losing the battle in the paint.
And with the Hawks and the East, they just dominated the rest of the division. 39 of the Hawks' 60 regular season wins came in conference.
Yeah, and across the board, the Hawks statistically just dominated all Eastern opponents. They shot it better, played better defense, took better care of the ball. They are set up to be a factor in this conference for a long time.
Outside Jennings. Here's Caldwell Pope, guarded by Korver. Shot clock at 6. That's good, and the Atlanta lead is cut to just 7 on the basket from Caldwell Pope. Caldwell Pope's gone 3 for 7 tonight. Teague against Jennings. Teague drives in, and it's sent back by Drummond. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Drummond. Korver dishes to Millsap. Horford kicks to Teague. Nice ball movement here by Atlanta. Korver, good. Over a minute and a half into the third quarter of action. Pistons trail by 9. Outside Jennings. He kicks to Drummond. Horford against Ilyasova. And he wills that one in. Sinking right through off the back iron. For Atlanta, they've gone 2 of 4 here to start the second half. T kicks to Horford. 11 feet away. Again, the Hawks good for 2. Now Jennings. He has 7. Johnson at the elbow. And Splitter pulls it down. Splitter's got his 8th rebound here tonight. Here's Millsap. And he can't extend the lead to double digits. Pistons trail by 9. Unloads from 13. Whistle blows. If that's going to be a travel. Right now, let's bring up the 2K leaderboard and see the teams that really knew how to clog the passing lanes last season. Number 5, the Hawks.